Greetings, it's your buddy, your pal, your friend, your teacher, your guide, ABW, Uncle Artist, and this is the MACK Manual Audio Experience. Talk about being a man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge. A man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge has many quivers of arrows in his arsenal, many tools in his tool belt. The most, probably the most important tool and the thing that you can work on the most and that you always have at your disposal are your words, your vocabulary, your understanding and command of language. Persuasive words and phrases is something that I'm going to go over real quick with you. And I'm going to, most um, of this list is going to be from a place of humility, a place of being able to eliminate that image of the hard, aggressive, hard, sharp salesman, negotiator, pursuer, action taker, hustler, whatever. Uh, it's far more effective in life, from what I've observed and what I've experienced, to always lead with humility and grace and class, sophistication, and not being presumptive. That's real huge. Not being presumptive. So all these phrases that I'm going to cover with you real quick are very people tend to be nowadays on a defense, on a natural state of defense. I don't know if this is just a natural evolution, occurrence of evolution of our collective consciousness of, um, you know, telemarketers. Everybody's always marketers of any kind, things vying for our attention, scams, just a general, um, shift in energy and in awareness and beliefs. It creates a defensiveness, right, with people, and that's understood. And you have to assume that, and it takes just a little observation and being able to be out in public, interact with people. There is a general. I don't want to make generalizations, but just a general observation is there's a lack of courtesy for the most part, and that's why things like my apologies, forgive me, excuse me, please, thank you, much appreciated, things like that are so refreshing. They're so uh, unexpected, sadly, nowadays. So, um, I mean, it's to the point that when I interact with people, and it's just my natural default say, "Excuse me, thank you so much, appreciate you." I've been I've been stopped by people and say, "Well, you must be from Texas." Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I am. Or if I'm here in Texas, where I am, you know, especially being like in Austin or some place like that, it's a whole slew of people who are not native to Texas, right? And then so they when they interact with a native Texan, they just know, you must be from here, courtesy. So uh, you can really distinguish yourself just by uttering the phrases of courtesy. My apologies, forgive me, excuse me, please, thank you, much appreciated. Doesn't take much, taking it a step further, or taking it in a different direction. And again, please allow me to, even if you have to deliver an uncomfortable phrase following that, an uncomfortable scenario, something after that is going to be uncomfortable, you can soften it by, okay, please allow me to understand. And then, you can clarify and dig and ask more probing questions. If someone gives you some type of pushback, you can ask the question, well, you please allow me to understand. Please allow me to hear your concern as to why you don't accept my terms. Or please allow me to hear your concern instead of why not. You know, it softens it. It lowers the defense. Okay, Mr. Johnson, please allow me to understand. Please allow me to hear your concern with my terms. What's your concern with my terms? Well, please allow me to request, or please allow me to have this considered. Please allow me to process this with you. Your line of thinking, or please allow me to process this with you. Where I see this going. Things like that. Persuasive, precise phrases. There's such an art to being balanced in saying just enough, saying right words in the right way with the right tone. That's another thing that I'm working on is tone, intonation. So when you make a request, or so when you need things, uh, because in life it's always going to be beneficial to consider, most effective to understand and consider the other party's side. Ideally, the principle, the concept is always about win-win. Um, or you've heard the phrase "never split the difference." There's all types of axioms and thoughts towards negotiation, which negotiation doesn't have to be just in business. You negotiate all the time. You negotiate with your spouse. You negotiate with your kids. You're always negotiating. Um, And when you want to gain the interest of someone else, phrases like "May I suggest?" "May I request?" It's hard to turn down a request. "May I request?" or "May I have it taken into consideration?" Instead of, "Well, think of it from my side. Well, let me get this. Uh, let me, or can I?" No. "May I suggest? May I request?" Okay. "May I have it taken into consideration?" These are precise, concise, persuasive phrases that people don't even realize will be used on them. Um, and there's so many psychological layers to the right words uttered that elicit a certain response just based on frequency. It's I mean, it's something that we intuitively know. The right word in the right way, the right time, in the right context will always um, make us act accordingly. You know, don't underestimate the word. In the beginning was the word. The word was with God. The word was God. You know, always be sharpening the tool of the word. You know, you can understand that. Could you not? Persuasive phrases. You know, um, things like, would you by chance? Would you by chance? Elegant, sophisticated speech. how you get things done. It's how you get things granted to you. How you get access. Well, listen, would you by chance? Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say? Or is it fair to say that my request is reasonable? Is it fair to say that we can agree on? I can't even. There's so many ways that you can layer precise, concise, persuasive phrases. Um, but the most important thing when it comes to expressing yourself in a persuasive manner is to always try to get to the feeling, to the heart of the matter, because everybody's always chasing a feeling. So the more that you can appeal to the feeling and attach the right words to the feeling, you can always get your point across. You can always be heard. You can always gain access. You can understand the feeling. And sometimes you can just ask, what would make you feel more? What would make you feel? How would that feel if? So just be a student of words, man. Be a student of phrases. Be a student of dialogue, of sales copy. These are prudent practices that doesn't have to take a whole lot of your time. Just make it a point to watch different shit. Watch Boardwalk Empire. Um, uh, there's a new damn, what is it called? There's a new Netflix series that's pretty dope. It's the Narco Saints. It's it's Asian based, but it's got a lot of, it's all English dialogue, English voiceover dialogue, and dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is actually really good. That's why, excuse me, attracted me to it was or kept me hooked into it. Once I started watching it, was the dialogue. Dialogue was very good, and I really enjoy it, and I really need to go back and watch it because there's a lot of persuasive dialogue that was going on that I want to capture. So that's all I want to talk about. It's your buddy, your pal, your friend, your teacher, your guide, ABW, Uncle Artist. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that boogie woogie stuff, man. I appreciate you, man. All right, peace and blessings. Sayonara. Chakataki.